the reception from an overseas band touring when they come in and use Brispop.com? Do you get a great response from that?
I get a lot of people. It's funny, there have been bands that have come to Australia and booked their tour using the resources that I've put online for them and hooked up with bands that have got similar influences through Brispop.
Yeah.
But it's not just that, it's also music industry professionals. Like, there's actually a sound guy who works here at the Powerhouse who is French and decided he wanted to come to Australia, but he did research and hooked up with other sound engineers and stuff using the Brispop resources so that he could arrange work for when he arrived here.
So this absolutely goes across the industry, the sound,
lighting,
I mean, it's anything music oriented.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just providing something for the artists, it's providing infrastructure for everybody that has anything to do with the music industry, so that there's like this cushion of competence and skills and contacts for anyone that wants to build a career.
Where will Brispop head, like coming into the 10th year? What are the ideas you've got to throw out there?
Well, I think some things that we've been doing more of in the last couple of years are presenting events. We've been doing the Love Spark Sundays that happen in this space since I think we started in 2006. That's been going really well. It was voted Brisbane's best freebie for a couple of years ago, and we've had a spin-off event happen from that, which is the Friday evening residencies here. So I think that's something that's really important to me, and it's fabulous to have a beautiful space like this, or have access to this, to be able to put on these bands that are quite cool. But I think also there's scope for me to develop the extra, the artist support services, which is career planning and guidance. There's a lot of people who are doing that kind of work now, so I'm in addition to matching bands up together, I'm matching bands up with potential managers or bookers and, music industry support services providers, So I think what I'd like to see happen is just to continue developing the community aspect and the industry aspect of it. Because, if we maintain... If we have our shit together, basically, if we have our shit together, I mean, it is actually, it could actually be a serious economic force. And, I mean, there are other organisations like Q Music do a massive amount towards that sort of thing as well. And I think if we can build an environment where musicians can have a career, but also the people who are supporting the musicians can also make a living out of doing that, I think that's the best case scenario.
It's good.
That's a lot of words, isn't it?
It is a lot of words, but I guess... especially in Queensland, me being from Queensland myself as well, the music industry really took a kick in the balls for a long, long time now.
And I reckon that part of the reason why our music scene is so strong and interesting and also fiercely loyal to each other is because we were outcasts for so many years. But I mean, anyone that's old enough to remember the Bjelke Peterson era was just, I think a sense of oppression really built a sense of solidarity in the community, and
it's almost like that Thatcher era in England.
It's exactly the same thing.
Going into the late 80s, early 90s.
And look, of course, there are a lot of kids coming through now that weren't even born yet. But I think anyone that does any research can understand the context in which the scene has developed into something that's quite diverse and interesting now. So I think the main problem facing any band in Australia is the national touring circuit and just the distance that you have to go through to play shows. It's not like, American bands have it fairly easy in that regard. And so it's the expense and trying to find support and competition for touring support is quite intense, and that can be a little bit catty sometimes. But I don't know, I just try to help foster an environment where people feel they can do it themselves and they don't begrudge someone else their day in the sun. If someone else happens to, achieve something before they do, just sort of applaud them rather than go, bye.
Yeah, exactly.